Today, we'll talk about the most important metal to Tesla's future, and a company that is poised to benefit from this future shift. The bottleneck to increase production scale is neither lithium nor cobalt, it is nickel. We'll dive into why it will shape not only Tesla's future as a dominant electric vehicle manufacturer, but the entire EV industry as it stands. The company that controls and has access to nickel will have control on all leading future battery tech efforts. At Tesla, the most critical constraint to EVs are their batteries. Big moves from Tesla are coming. Although they extended their battery contract with Panasonic until 2023, they are not hiding the fact that Tesla plans to make in-house batteries as soon as it is feasible to do so. Tesla and Panasonic initially planned for the Gigafactory to have the capacity to produce 35 gigawatt hours of batteries each year. That goal was actually achieved with 13 production lines, but it is not enough to sustain their future goals for production. Again, this is nowhere enough to sustain their goals, with the problem being they need 20 terawatt hours to sustain Tesla's future, which is equivalent to 135 gigafactories. This is 200 times the increase on their current battery supply. And during their recent battery day, they provided a couple of hints on how much they expect scaling battery production to cost. And as part of the solution, they will be making these battery cells in-house. They are already making waves in a new Fremont location, at Giga Berlin, and at Giga Austin. So they plan to scale up their EV capacity big time. What are these various kinds of batteries first? One is nickel, cobalt, aluminum that are used now in Tesla's cars, in the 18650s in the Model S and X, and then the 2170s in the Model 3 and Model Y. Then there's iron phosphate batteries. There's ample supply and works for EVs, but it's not as good as others. However, these batteries are improving and they are also used in China. Next is a nickel manganese cobalt, and these are the batteries that are used in Tesla storage, and there are actually innovations going on with these batteries with the DAN lab at Dalhousie, which is a university in Canada in Nova Scotia. And this is the future of battery. There's this historic transition from 344 to 532 to 811, but the 4680 single crystal batteries use mostly nickel. So the ratio of nickel is increasing, not decreasing. Cobalt is also needed, but this is a problem mineral and is being phased out. It was actually termed the blood diamond of batteries, and it's also very unsustainable to produce. So nickel is the bottleneck, not cobalt, since it'll be eliminated / phased out, and it's not lithium, which is readily available as of right now. So to get to 20 terawatt hours, Tesla will need to 100 to 200 times their nickel supply. This is nowhere near what's currently being produced. Unlike lithium, you can't scale up the mining easily. So Tesla needs to secure a nickel supplier and has been recently very serious in these efforts. There's also a history of Elon pleading for good nickel suppliers, for example in a Q2 earnings call. Wherever you are in the world, please mine more nickel. Tesla is also in talks with various companies, and here is a report. For example, on February 4th, the Jakarta Globe reported that Tesla would submit a proposal to the Indonesian government for the establishment of a battery production facility in the country. This is in response to the automaker's efforts to strive to secure nickel supplies for its larger 4680 cells that is planned to be used in future Tesla vehicles such as the Cybertruck and the Semi models. So why are Tesla's recent talks in Indonesia a big deal? Well, because Indonesia produces most of the nickel in the world due to its large, high-quality nickel reserves and its supportive policies. This country has attracted a significant amount of investments into the EV battery industry. And who owns most of the nickel in Indonesia? Well, it's a company called Vale. So Tesla's proposal with Indonesia and Vale could be one of in a series of ore processing and battery investments that Indonesia's government hopes to make up the bulk of the country's 64 billion investment target for this year. And let's talk more about Vale. It is the biggest nickel producer in the world. It owns mines in Indonesia, Canada, Brazil, and in many other countries. Investors also seem to be anticipating a partnership given the rise in the stock since November. Vale is also a producer of iron and copper in addition to nickel, and prices of those commodities are also skyrocketing. Vale shares also trade at a ratio to estimated profit that is about half of those of BHP and Rio Tinto, other nickel mining companies. It's a discount that bothers us, the CFO of Vale stated. A partnership is looking more and more likely given Indonesia efforts and Tesla publicly talking previously in their latest quarterly reports. So the future of the EV industry is clearly in nickel. Nickel is important to the future of all electric vehicles, and Tesla seems to be doing everything right so far, although some are mad at Tesla's Bitcoin investments. So buying into mining stocks like Vale takes advantage of the rising prices in these commodities due to the increased pressure and demand by the government and consumers for a greener and more electrified future. Vale is my stock of choice. I'll be looking closely at this stock price to take opportunities to buy any dip of this company. And just as a disclosure policy, I do not own any shares of this company as of yet, and I am not being paid by Vale to promote their company. And my question to you is, who is best positioned to dominate the future of battery cells? Answer down below in the comments. Again, please be sure to like this video and subscribe to my channel, Sinofsky Stocks, for more content like this. As well, if you live in Canada and want to trade stocks at $0 commissions and get $10 towards your next stock purchase, there's also a link to sign up to Wealthsimple below. So please be sure to check that out. Thank you, take care, and I love you all.